Welcome back. As my camera goes out of focus, yelling and screaming, Club 602's best and only NFL podcast. Sean, how's it going?
Not too bad, baby. How about yourself? How about yourself?
I can't complain too much. It is an NFL football Sunday. It's a big brunch Sunday. Man, life is pretty
Yeah.
good.
Honestly, man, if inflation's killing us, there's a lot going on in the world, but at least we got this. We got this to keep us occupied and distracted.
Well, there's one thing that inflation has not struck, and that is overseas NFL football. Commanders and Dolphins 6-6 at halftime. As always, we'll keep you up to date on the package the NFL has shipped overseas. We got a pretty big week this week as far as some division rivalries, some big matchups with supposed playoff teams. Obviously, there's a huge game on Sunday Night Football. I think we'll get into that later, but it might mean more for one team than another. But let's start off where we always do. Thursday Night Football. Jets fall to the Patriots 14-27. And the Patriots are 9-2.
Patriots look pretty good this season, man. Patriots look pretty good this season. I can't lie. I will be honest though. Their schedule is pretty soft. Like it's not like they're playing against even above 500 teams. And we look at a team like the Jets, who did basically a little bit of a fire sale towards the trade deadline. So it wasn't like I was expecting the Jets to come out and trailblaze here, but the Patriots handled the game the way they're supposed to. They're supposed to come out and supposed to execute, and they did that.
And I really didn't think they played their best game.
No,
they put together drives when they needed to. But if you look at the box score without the touchdowns, kind of pedestrian from the offense. Obviously, putting 27 points up is putting 27 points up. Trevion Henderson might be the guy. I have a note here, somewhat tongue in cheek, but is he the best Patriots running back of all time? Those teams didn't really make use of the running back like as a superstar, right? Like there's some big names, but there's never like that one Patriots running back, right? I mean, Corey Dillon had some good time.
Curtis Martin wasn't bad either. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
I mean, he had a couple of solid years for them in the 90s. Trevion Henderson looks really good right now, especially keeping the ball in his hands. Only one fumble in the season. He seems real reliable. He's a guy that gets downhill, and if you check it, he's running 4.9 yards per carry, which is huge. It's not just the fact that he's getting the carries; it's that he's moving the chains. He's getting the ball downfield, and he's running downhill, and that's what you need from a running back. The Patriots historically in the past 20 years or so, their running backs have really been guys who were swing guys. A lot of guys who are catching passes out of the backfield. And so they've really looked like Trevion Henderson seems to be a traditional running back, which only helps out a team like the Patriots right now. It's going to look really good for them to have more of a traditional offense than what we've seen in the past. And especially in this division right now, they seem to be really holding the reins.
I don't know if our friend Kendall is watching, but I do have to just say for all of our viewers and potentially Kendall, best Patriots running back of all time is former Wisconsin Badger, Super Bowl MVP, James White. Just got to make that clear. He should have won the MVP. That was not Tom Brady's Super Bowl to get another stupid MVP. James White won that game for the Patriots, and he is
quarterback bias. Quarterback bias is always going to be the case. Come on now, you know that. You get a 2,000-yard rusher and a 4,000-yard passer, and they're going to somehow find a way to give it to the 4,000-yard passer.
What I like from Henderson is he's still catching the ball, right? He's still doing the things that made him valuable to the team as the backup running back, as the lead back. And we don't always see that when the Patriots shuffle their running backs. Belichick was famous for that, right? He'd sign a guy off the practice squad, he'd have 200 yards rushing, and then he'd never play again. So it's good to see Trevion still doing the systemic things that made him so intriguing now that he's the lead back. 24 touches Only 93 yards, but I mean, you touch the ball 25 times in a game. Like there's some value there. So I really like that he's still doing all those things. I'm not sure how sustainable it is long term. There's a lot of mouths to feed there. But I mean, he's a dog. I do have to eat some crow.
You go with the guy who works
on Diggs. I'll eat some crow on Diggs. 9 catches for 105 is the least pedestrian stat line, and I feel like this is what I'm going to do from now on. I'm going to bitch about a player
and then he's going to play well.
Bet on them. I'll bitch about them, then bet on them, because I think like the last 3 guys I've called out for being just like shitty players have popped off the next week. So I've got a guy a little later that I'm going to intentionally throw under the bus, and I'm going to bet his overs. I hope it works. Reverse chance.
Hey, I told you, man. I told you. At the end of the day, you know, the quarterback's got to throw the ball to somebody, and Diggs ain't a bad guy to throw to, especially when Booty's out. You know, you go to a guy who you're used to seeing, you know, put up big numbers in some good games, and Diggs is still that guy. I think for the Patriots especially. So kudos to him.
Trainer didn't do fuck all. So
nope. No, he blocked really well.
What'd you think of the uniforms?
I do like that blue color. I do like that storm blue. I thought it was a pretty cool uni, not gonna lie.
I think if they threw the red star into the logo on the helmet to match the red stars on the collar, that is an elite level uniform. I'd give me that uniform and the Pat the Patriot throwback uniforms. Okay. Nothing else. Let's scrap all the other Patriots unis. Those are the 2 I want. Those are sick.
Well, yeah, but the NFL can't sell jerseys if they scrap the other ones. They got to give you some shitty jerseys to go with some good ones.
I feel like every Patriots fan has all the normal Patriots jerseys. If you take those ones away and bring them back like 3 years from now, it was like throwback uniforms, you get to sell them all again.
I guess that's fair. Or you'll see a bunch at Goodwill.
The Jets on the other side of the ball,
disaster. Their special teams are solid. Their special teams are solid. At least the return game is not bad.
And like kind of thing. Like that's what Bears fans said my entire life. It was like, oh, special teams are good. Like,
well, Devin Hester was an absolute one of the greatest return man of all time. Like when you got him,
you got him. Sucked.
You're 100. Rex Grossman was dog water, and the only reason why they made anything was because of that man Devin Hester. So I completely agree with you.
I feel like the Jets as an organization have kind of lost the thread. You know, we were talking with our Jets fans friends, and they're like blaming Justin Fields and like, oh, if we had a better quarterback, we'd be good. It's like, no, like your diva ass corner refused to play until you traded him. Your diva ass wide receiver has injuries to just kind of come up and he doesn't play. Like Fields is out there giving his all, and he's not great. But like he's not the problem with the Jets. It's an organizational issue. I don't know that they're ever gonna get to where they need to until Woody like wakes up and like turns the team over to someone who knows football.
I mean, honestly, my biggest thing is definitely there's a lot of culture that's bad with the Jets, and it's hard to play in the New York environment, New York atmosphere, that mentality, to have to be that strong in front of the media at all times, to understand that you're going to get booed no matter what happens. So I think that's really still in their heads. I mean, I watched receivers drop balls that they should have caught. You know, there's very easy first down plays, and you get the receiver turning in, the wide out, the quarterback throws it on the outside, and the receiver, instead of whipping his head around the other way and going to the outside, spins all the way around backwards and drops the fucking ball. Like, what are you doing? Like, you have to still understand that this is still football. You have to play traditional football. You have to use the mechanics that got you to this point. There's a lot of talent on the field. There's a lot of guys who have a lot of individual skills, but this isn't the fucking combine. Like, you are a football team. You need to be out there performing on the highest level each week. And if you don't have the energy or the mental fortitude to be able to do that, then sit your ass down and let somebody else do it. You know, it's tough to play in that, again, it's tough to play in that New York environment, but like everybody's got to play somewhere. And, you know, you see guys like Daniel Jones, who obviously in that New York environment go somewhere else where he just feels like he's relaxed. You see these guys playing for the Jets, playing for the Giants, and they go somewhere else and they shine because they don't have that same pressure on them that they're getting from that. But at the end of the day, you're a professional football player. Like, go out there and perform the way you're supposed to, the way you're expected to, what got you to this stage. So, I mean, they got no excuses. Like, they need to do better. The players really need to do better. They need to show that they are skilled position players for a national football team.
If you tell me that Justin Fields only turns the ball over one time and has a passing touchdown and a rushing touchdown, I don't know that my mind would necessarily put you at a 13-point loss. All right, Breece Hall needs to be your leading rusher, right? Like your quarterback can't be your leading rusher. It skews what you're trying to do, especially when it's Justin Fields, because they've been trying to protect him a little bit more. He doesn't have as many designed runs. He's running for his life. Like, he ends up with carries because the protection's so bad. And yes, they do roll him out. Yes, they do designed runs, but I'm going to make an argument that I don't think it's that crazy. If Justin Fields is your leading rusher, you lose the game.
100%.
He's not Michael Vick. Like,
100%.
It's not. And that's like the play calling is a little suspect. And I understand, especially when you get down with a quarterback like Fields, who is not a traditional throwing quarterback, it really takes away what you're able to do. I mean, I think at halftime, he only had like 60 passing yards. He finishes the game 15-26 for 116 yards. You know, that's a JJ McCarthy stat line. Like, that's bad. So two touchdowns. The Jets need to do a better job across the board of addressing what is wrong with this team and holding the 9-2 Patriots at 27 points. I mean, that's a decent defensive effort. So for me, the focus really needs to be on the offensive side of the ball. They made their defense weaker to get draft picks, but where do you spend those draft picks?
Offensive line.
Quarterback.
Offensive line. Nope, you don't even need a quarterback. Offensive line. I don't understand it. There's this weird thing in the NFL where they keep talking about how these teams need skill position players and they need this and needed that. And they got the shittiest offensive lines. Like, I'm sorry, it doesn't matter what quarterback you get if he doesn't have 2 seconds to throw the ball. If he's got to roll out every single play, if the protection breaks down and he has to rush the ball up the middle, then you're never going to have a guy who can sit back and get reads and get the ball to his receivers. You can't just throw drags and slants and fucking bubble screens all day long and expect to be able to win games. Like, that's just not how it works, especially in today's NFL. Like, you got to be able to put the ball downfield. You got to give your quarterback some time to see the field, give him some time to get into a groove. And if your offensive line is dog shit, like, what are you going to do? You know, the best teams in the NFL aren't the best teams just because they're quarterback. Most of them have phenomenal offensive lines. They have at least one all-pro offensive lineman. Like, what are you talking about here?
Well, it's chicken and the egg, right? We see it with the Chargers. Like, every time the Chargers lose another lineman, it's like, oh, this guy's kind of a pedestrian quarterback.
Exactly.
All right. You have anything else on Patriots and Jets here?
No. I think we've beaten the dead horse here. We shit on the Jets, and the Patriots are good, but I just think that their schedule has been pretty soft. I think the back half we'll see a couple more games where they'll be tested, and we'll see what that playoff picture looks like. They got to beat the Bills, and obviously that's going to be a test. That got to be a test. Yeah, but the front half Bills and back half Bills aren't necessarily the same, and
fair.
Yeah, but there's no advantage here late in the season because both of them is cold. It's cold either place. So I think this is going to be a fun back half.
There's only 7 games left, and they have a 3.5 game lead. So you're running out of time. You're running out of time if you're the Bills.
Yeah.
The Commanders have scored. Mariota hit Debo on a 20-yarder. It is 13-6 Commanders. But
I just want to say something real quick about Miami because I know obviously this game is on. Last week, Miami did exactly what I expected them to do. Exactly what I expected them to do. They made the Bills look pedestrian. What'd they do? They got up early. And the Bills can't. I don't know if the Bills can't play. Like, they can't change environments. They have to always be in the same environment. They got to be cold all the time. They either got to be cold, or they can't go from hot to cold or cold to hot back and forth. Like, it just doesn't work for them. Josh, I don't know what it is, but Miami did exactly what they needed to do. They got up early, and then this game, obviously, Commanders are a much worse team than we saw last year. So this is probably going to be a pretty decent game of two pretty evenly matched teams, in my opinion. But yeah, it was fun to watch.
The Dolphins. I almost got is what I was going to say. I mean, they almost got the Bills in week 3.
Mm-hmm.
There was 21-21. The Bills scored 10 unanswered points in the fourth quarter to win by 10. But, like, there is something wrong with the Bills. And I'm not exactly sure what it is, because you watch them and they look fantastic. And then it's like you look at the score and it's like, what exactly is happening here? I don't know. I don't get it. Our game of the week is a juggernaut contest in the NFC West between 2 7-2 teams. This is probably for the division, but these teams are good. Seahawks and Rams. What do you have here, Sean? I'm excited for this one. This is a huge game.
This is a huge game. I think for us, we're looking at 2 top 10 offenses and 2 top 10 defenses as far as points given up. And both teams are really holding opponents to under 20 points a game, which is what you need from your defense. So we're going to see some really, really tough play here from those defensive lines and those secondaries. And then offensively, Stafford's playing at a MVP level. Even with a couple of injuries here and there, you're still seeing incredible football from that Rams offense. And who expected Seattle to be this good? I did not. I really didn't. JSN is looking like exactly what they needed to get after letting the receiver core kind of walk, and so they really
pretty much
needed
lock it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I called them knockoffs. I called them the knockoff Seahawks early in the year because, all the pieces were still kind of there, but they were all not proven quantities, right? And man, Darnold looks good, and JSN looks good, and the 6-headed running back committee looks solid. There's a chance, a good chance, a better chance week to week that 3 playoff teams come out of this division. I mean, if the playoffs were today, the 49ers would be a half game out of the second wild card slot. Like this is a huge game, but the loser's still very much in it. And so I think what I want to see is I want to see both teams do what they do well. Let the Rams do this air raid thing. I mean, Kyren Williams there's 700 rushing yards.
Don't sleep. Yeah, I'm about to say, you sleep on it, but he's
who? I feel like what? Who's the running back for the Rams? Does it even matter? They're just throwing the ball over the damn field. Guys got 705 halfway through the season. Okay, it speaks to the talent. It speaks to what the Rams are able to do on offense, where it's you totally forget about the third leading rusher in the NFL. I didn't even cross my mind when I was doing notes and stuff. I started looking at team stats, but not once was it got to stop Kyren Williams. But you really do have to stop Kyren Williams because that's what makes them so open down the field. You got to pull up an extra defender in the box, and you're one-on-one against really, really good wide receivers and one of the most accurate quarterbacks in NFL history.
And you sleep on it, but Blake Corum also has 300 rushing yards. I mean, right now they're above 1,000 yards rushing, and both of these guys are running at 4.4, 4.5, 4.6 yards per carry. So not only are they rushing well and putting up good numbers, but they're also getting huge chunks in each one of these rushes, and so that's what you want to see. Besides the two fumbles, they're looking great in the run game, and couple that with Stafford just playing lights out. Nakua's still doing what he needs to do. Gonna be an easy 1,000-yard receiver this year. It's looking like they really have the offense together that they need to potentially get back to the Super Bowl. So I mean, they've got what they want on this team right now, and I'm sure they're excited about what their prospects look like. Flip side to that, though, I will say this: both of these teams have had some pretty pedestrian schedules. They have played against a lot of sub 500 teams, and they've beaten them. Back half of the schedule looks like they They both should be coming out on top on the back half, and so it's really going to come down to the wire as to who is going to win this division out. And so this game is huge for both these teams.
Miami Dolphins with a fourth and goal from the 2. They do not convert. Commanders take over, go in the other direction. Cooper Kupp, is this a revenge game spot? Can he torch the Rams with just heart and soul, or is it too reliant on the way the Seahawks run their system to force the ball to Kupp?
I'm going to say no, and it's really kind of something that you look at in the NFL and people kind of forget, but receivers know a lot about offenses. So what we're going to see here is we're going to see much more of the Rams defense kind of understanding the Seahawks receiver schemes, or vice versa. You're going to see that the Seattle's defense, seeing the kind of matched up a little bit better against some of those receivers. I think you're definitely going to need the Rams run game to kind of open up the field. You're going to see Seattle's really, really, really playing great schemes against some of these passes, because people forget that in those revenge games, like the receivers aren't dumb. They have a good understanding of how these offenses work, and they understand where their receivers are expected to be, and they communicate that very well to their defensive guys. So I think Cooper Kupp definitely has the opportunity to do some good things here. He understands that Rams defense, understands where his spot should be. It's going to take time though for Darnold to get that ball to him potentially, and so as long as the Rams defense, Jared versus cooking, then I mean it don't really matter. At the end of the day, they got to make sure that they can keep. They got to make sure that they can keep Darnold up. They got to make sure that they can keep him off the ground and keep him comfortable in the pocket. And then you'll see really him and JSN eat.
Yeah, I think for me, for the Hawks, it really comes down to the rushing game. I've bitched a couple times this year about how they don't have a lead back, and it's been working, right? The guys complement each other stylistically enough where it's like having one running back. They don't really seem to be hurt by not getting large amounts of carries. So they're both really skilled players, and I think that they're interchangeable enough where it doesn't really impact what they're trying to do from a game flow standpoint. They both block. They can both catch balls. They both can run goal line. So it's weird for me from a organizational standpoint, because like it's a big bruising lead back, and then you have like the little scat back that catches passes. And the Seahawks are doing a really good job not caring, right? And like that's a good football team, right? Your personnel should be interchangeable. You should be able to count on guys to do all the jobs, and they really do. And I think it kind of injury proofs what the Seahawks are trying to do. So I'm less concerned about their offense than I would be with another team, because if they do lose a piece, and we never cheer for injuries, but if they do lose a piece, I feel like there is no drop off. Their games are very similar. Charbonnet and Walker are both really good players. I mean, they could both be running back one on a traditional team and carry that load. So being able to have one guy essentially fresh the whole game might be the difference here, because if the Seahawks can generate offense regardless of their level of tiredness, eventually the Rams defense is going to break down to the point where you can get a score, get a key conversion. I think the Rams are the better team in this game, and we'll get to our picks in a minute here, but I think that there's a very clear path for the Seahawks to take a game on the road.
They gotta get feed JSN. Realistically, he's kind of a one-man wrecking crew right now. 1,000 yards receiving, and we still got a ton of season left. But I will say this: both teams total rush offense is the difference is 8 yards. So they both definitely need to make sure that their run game is integral in this game. But you are right. It definitely is nice to have both Kenneth Walker and Charbonnet be able to kind of be interchangeable there. So it really works to their benefit. But I think that it's going to come down to if the Rams can stop JSN. That's really what it's going to come down to. If you can stop him, it makes it a lot harder for Darnold to do what he needs to do with the ball. So you're going to see some good coverages against him. You're going to see some double teams. You're going to see guys just shading towards him, and Darnold's going to have to understand that, and he's going to have to feed his other receivers and get the ball downfield in order to win this game.
So let's talk picks. Who do you have winning this game? What does that win look like?
I am typically a fan of taking the home team in a game like this. It's just a little bit of that factor of the energy from the stadium, and being pumped up. It's just it typically works for me. Also, if I had to choose between Darnold and Stafford, I'm taking Stafford 9 times out of 10. So I think that the Rams are probably the more complete team here, just by a hair. In each position, I think that they're just a step ahead. Overall, Nakua is Cup, Devontae is JSN, and so you can have those guys kind of match up against each other. Looking at that, and as far as the run game goes, I mean, you're kind of neck and neck there. So I definitely am going to give a little bit of an edge to the Rams here, but I see it as a tie game. I'm seeing like a 24-27 game here. It's going to be, I think it's going to definitely come down to a couple of big plays, a couple of big stops here and there. And you're going to see 2 top NFL offenses and defenses battling it out here.
Dude, JSN stats are stupid.
It's nuts, right?
Dude, his ADOT is 12.8. His average depth of target is 13 yards down the field. He has one drop.
It's stupid. He is by far the best wide receiver in the NFL this season.
I hadn't pulled his advanced stats. I just saw that he had like the 10th most catches and the most yards by like a mile. And the advanced stats are stupid.
Well, if you got a guy like that who's taking the ball 13 yards on the field, and then you got Cooper Kupp who's sitting underneath, like that's a great 1-2 punch right there. Like that's exactly what you need in a team like this.
It's absurd. For me, this is going to come down to that veteran leadership. Rams are a 3-point favorite right now. I think that's probably about right. Give me 24-21 Rams. Seahawks score late to make the game closer than it was, but I think the Rams are going to dictate pace. I think they're going to stay ahead in this game. I feel like the Seahawks won't be playing poorly, but I don't think this game is ever going to kind of be like at risk for them, if that makes sense. I think that they're going to be able to manage the flow of the game. Kyron Williams to get his, and I think the Rams win this one.
I got Seattle leading at half, but the Rams closing the game out.
Okay.
Yeah, I can see a 1-score game at half. And then the Rams kind of coming on the field late in the game and either getting a touchdown or getting a field goal to kind of put themselves ahead, and then Seattle not coming back out from that. I mean, that's how I see it at.
I think as long as both teams play the way we know they're capable of playing, I don't think I'll have much bad to say either way, right? Someone has to win this game.
Actually, that's not true. That is not true.
Another tie in the NFC would fuck up everything. It would be such a disaster.
It would be awesome. It would be hilarious if this game ended in a tie. 24-24 tie.
I love ties. I'm looking at the standings. It's like that would mess some stuff up.
Imagine if it comes down. Imagine the season coming down. They both are trying to win the division, potentially top seed in the NFC, and it comes down to like points against or some dumb shit like that. It comes down to like a 5-6 tiebreaker because they tied each other in divisional wins.
I know it's not in the NFL tiebreakers, but I've always wanted, like, how we get game 163 in baseball sometimes. Like, give me like one more game, like week 19. They got to push the playoffs back, or they got to play like on a Wednesday to determine seeding or some shit like that. It would be incredible. The viewership for that game would be through the roof.
I mean, I do have a very, very, very big real theory for what the NFL should do at the end of their season to make the playoffs more exciting. But we can get into that later.
Oh, what if we did like a big dodgeball game and had all the players play dodgeball? Would that be fun?
Oh my God, that shit is so stupid.
I hate the Pro Bowl. They're moving it. Okay. They're doing it Super Bowl week now.
Of course they are. Okay, hear me out. This is what my theory is that the NFL needs to do in order to correct the bullshit Pro Bowl failure. All right, leave the Pro Bowl where it is. Playoffs. The bottom 8 teams or bottom 6 teams, bottom 4 teams, whatever, do a bracket, and that determines your picks. So during the Pro Bowl, there is a game, Pro Bowl weekend, that is like the bottom tier, basically championship to determine the first seed for the draft. That way, shitty teams are forced to still play football and try to win. You can't tank.
I'm getting a call from the players union, and they are furious with you.
Why? Why? Why would they be furious?
They bitch about preseason games. You think they're going to want to play a goddamn postseason tournament?
If it means if that's the way your team determines how you get your draft picks, yes. You do. Imagine being a bottom 4 team in the NFL and you play 2 extra games to determine whether or not you actually get the first overall draft pick. Like, I think that would make a little bit. Give me something interesting.
As a fan or an NFL owner, I'm all the way in. As a card-carrying NFL union member, you're not allowed. You're not allowed in the facility anymore. Like. They don't want
give me more football that matters. All right. Seeing teams tanking at the end of the season in any sport is always it always sucks. And I love when it's those teams that have the opportunity to like affect another team's playoffs, that they play hard. But like at the end of the day, you want to do the best for your team. And if playing one extra game, which by the way, it's not really an extra game, you're essentially doing a playoff that means something. The NBA added the fucking stupid NBA Cup tournament in the middle of the season. Why can't the NFL do something useful with theirs instead of turning Pro Bowl weekend into fucking trash of just people running around like Nickelodeon style? Like, what is this shit? Like, I'm sorry, but it's not NFL 60 play weekend, bro. It's not like, what are we doing here? Make football again. Like, I'm sorry. And if you're going to do flag football, don't do it with NFL players. Do it with actual flag football players. There's some really good fucking flag football players out there. Let them cook. Let arena football guys come out and do something during that weekend. Don't waste my time with the NFL players playing fucking dodgeball. Like, are you serious? I don't give a shit about that.
I'm 100% with you. I'll let all those points stand, and I'll just say I want a 32-team bracket for the college football playoff.
Oh, that would be great. Obviously, having a real tournament
is a playoff game, except the Bahamas Bowl. That one can be for Indiana to go play in every year. All right. Let's get into this slate. It's a good one, and
some good games.
I think the biggest one is the first one we're going to talk about here. I think this has the most meaning of any game on the slate. Packers, New York Football Giants. The Packers are a 7.5-point favorite in this game, and that doesn't make any sense, Sean, because
yes, it does.
Winston is the quarterback for the New York Giants. One of the greatest gifts to the football world is suiting up one more time. I got the Giants winning this game outright.
Well, you know what? I agree with you on that. It's also don't forget they fired their head coach, so there's going to be a lot of energy in the building today. It's a home game. The Packers look like a shell of themselves last week in that loss. The defenses play phenomenal. Both defenses play phenomenal. But like I've said, Jordan Love is just not. He doesn't have it. He doesn't have it. And losing Tucker Kraft changes their entire offensive scheme. He doesn't have his guy in the middle of the field anymore. And I think that even without Cam Scatterboot, the Giants today are going to be hungry. They're going to try to show that the firing their coach means something. It was a good decision. And Jameis Winston's energy is just electric. I told you he was going to get a start. Didn't I say that shit? And we're halfway through the season. It's not even in garbage time. It's not even week 17. It's fucking now. Let's go. Jabbo.
And they're only one game back of the shitty teams in the NFC East. Like, the Giants are right there. They're on their third quarterback. They're on their back on their first running back, right?
And they could be number 2 in their division.
Yeah.
Honestly, is that a successful season? If you're Jackson Dart, if you
finish ahead of the Cowboys with all that's happened this year, that's a successful season. I think the fan base will see it as a success. They have players to look forward to. You are still better than the Cowboys, right? So like I think a Giants season, even if it's sub 500, if you finish ahead of the Cowboys with all the injuries, with all the potential moving forward, you'll have a new coach coming in. In theory, you have your quarterback, a running back, your number 1 wide receiver. You have a defense that's improving. I think if you finish ahead of the Cowboys, whatever the record, this is a success for the Giants.
I can see that. I respect it. Honestly, I'm excited to see the Cowboys lose every week. So
we'll get to that. We'll get to that. Big one on Monday night.
Stinker.
Texans Titans. I have one note for this game. I didn't want to talk about it, but I marked it as a yes, just so I could take shots at both these teams. I have this as bad versus inept. Because the Texans are bad, and the Titans are completely inept from an organizational standpoint. I don't know if Cam Ward is it, man.
So we're talking about one season, and the Titans have 0 weapons, none. You look at the NFL, and you can probably name one wide receiver or running back that's at least worth a grain of salt from every NFL team. Somebody who could potentially be a Pro Bowl player if they had all the pieces to be able to do so. I can't do that on a single player on the fucking Titans. Not a single one. The Texans, on the other hand, if I'm saying it, actually, the Titans are bad and the Texans are inept. The Texans have more skill players. They have guys who,
from me.
Like the Texans have more skill players. They have some. They are a team who has made the playoffs, have won their division. They have the potential to be a decent team. Offensive line is trash. The defense doesn't play up to the competition every week. So, I definitely see them as the inept team. I think that they are playing on the bottom half of their talent level. And on the top half of their talent level, they've won their division. It's just the division's been pretty weak in the past couple of years. So a 9-8 season or a 10-7 season is not going to cut it. And they're not even playing up to that caliber anymore. I do think that C.J. Stroud takes way too many hits. Obviously, Davis Mills ended up starting last week. And so I think that realistically, he is Andrew Luck with a shorter stature. He's just going to get beat to shit, and his career's going to be cut short. I don't see him playing in the NFL for another 2 seasons if he keeps taking hits like this.
I think my thoughts on Stroud are well published. I won't beat up on the guy while he's injured.
Everybody else is beating up on him, so he don't need nobody else to do it.
The Davis Mills led Texans will be 2-0 after this week. And yes, schedule, right? I get it. Mm-hmm. But I think at some point the Texans really have to think, are we better paying all this money to CJ Stroud than we would be with a journeyman quarterback? Eventually you have to ask the question.
No, you don't. You are better with CJ Stroud. It's not CJ Stroud is not the only. That's okay, but CJ Stroud is not the only issue here. And if you give CJ Stroud,
he's the most expensive issue.
That's always the case when a team is losing. You get that. You can blame the quarterback all you want, but we have been beating a dead horse about how bad their offensive line is. And it's only gotten worse. If CJ Stroud can't stand up, how the fuck is he supposed to throw the ball? Yes, he is expected to be a mobile quarterback, but he's really a pocket passer. He doesn't want to roll out every fucking play. So at the end of the day, he's got to be able to stand in the pocket and throw the ball. And guess what? There is no fucking pocket. It's Swiss cheese back there. There's nothing you can do if you're that quarterback except take hits over and over and over again. His career will be cut short, 100%. He will be the next Tua if they don't get him an offensive line. With an offensive line, they're a playoff caliber team. They've done it already, Rick. They've done it already. Their offensive line got worse. It got worse.
I'm not going to take shots at the kid while he's hurt. So if you'll allow me to move to the next game, so I can take shots at another NFL quarterback that shouldn't be in the NFL. Lord. Panthers Falcons. Bryce Young is bad. He's a bad quarterback. And the experiment needs to end. Let Dalton play the rest of the year. Get a new quarterback. This is bad. This Panthers team has intrigued us this year, right? We've been like all in on these Panthers games, and they've like popped up and like won some shit that they shouldn't have. And then like Bryce Young has like 100 yards passing, and he's just awful. His accuracy is bad, and his decision making is bad. And it's like, at what point is enough for the Panthers here?
Look, this game is going to come down to the running back play. Because realistically, Penix is also not lighting up the stat line either. Both of these running backs, though, I mean, as far as usage goes, Dowdle's sitting at almost 800 yards rushing. Like he will be the NFL's he will be the NFL's first 1,000-yard rusher this season, which you would have not thought that at the beginning of the season.
Excuse me.
Oh, sorry. JTT.
Obviously. Former Badger. JTT, former Wisconsin.
All right, JTT. My apologies. But he's a damn good running back right now in this system. I got to give respect is due. Bijan still high usage, one of the highest usages in the NFL, and we know that's what the Falcons need to do. Just feed him the rock. Like, why are we playing games here? Like, we get it. Like, you want Drake London. He's a solid receiver. You want to get him the ball as well. But him and Tet are pretty close to each other as far as receiving yards this season. And at the end of the day, like, we know Bijan's the usage guy. You know he is your Christian McCaffrey. He's your Marshall Faulk. He's like, feed him the rock. Like, we know what he's capable of doing. Just get him the ball. Penix needs to pay pedestrian. Penix needs to be pedestrian at best. He needs to be a game manager. Both these guys are not winners right now. Both of them are not going to light up the scoreboard with their passing ability. Both of them need to be game managers.
I need to apologize to the Vikings fans. I have seen the light on McCarthy. I am starting him in fantasy this week. In my fantasy league where you get points only for interceptions. Bring it on down, JJ McCarthy. This kid sucks. And this really, really bad Bears secondary is going to pick him off at least once. And that tells you everything you need to know. Give me the Bears win this game outright.
I mean, I don't know. I mean, divisional games are tough. And the Bears can play down to the Vikings, or they could play up and really actually show that they're the team to beat the team to beat in their division. It is difficult for me to give the Bears an outright win here. I think this game is going to be a lot closer than we expected. The Vikings might be trending upward if McCarthy can stay off his back and keep the ball out of the defense's hands. I think that at the end of the day, though, Caleb Williams is playing his best football. If he can feed his receivers, if Swift can keep the rock and keep the ball moving down the field, I think they have the best chance of winning this game. But it's not easy to play in Minnesota. Any given week, that team can actually show you that their defense is still a good defense in the NFL. So I think this game is going to be a little bit closer than people think. I actually have the Vikings in this game.
Yeah, line is 3. We'll be in the Lions' den today. Well, I guess the Vikings' den today. I wish I had my Jay Cutler jersey. I would rock the Cutler jersey today. Chargers are playing the Jags. I didn't have anything on this game, really. It's kind of a weird one.
It is, but it's because the Chargers are so not real. Like, the Chargers aren't real at a 7-3. They don't feel like a real team to me yet. Like, they lose games that they shouldn't lose, and they win games that you're like, all right, you snuck away with that one. The Jags at home too. They're 3-2 at home. So I mean, Chargers are a 3-1 team on the road. And honestly, it really comes down to whether or not the Jaguars defense can keep Herbert from getting that ball to those receivers, because he's got some damn good receivers that can really stretch the field and make it difficult for your defense. So, I mean, no Brian Thomas Jr. is really going to make it tough for the Jags to do what they need to do. But I think that this game is definitely the Chargers game to win. Like, they should win this game. But I wouldn't be surprised if it was a one score game and the Chargers are on the Chargers were on the losing side of this game.
QJ is active. He was questionable all week. He will be playing on this one.
Yeah, so they're healthy.
Yeah,
and the Jags aren't.
Bucks and Bills. Viewers, we do this sheet where we mark like games we want to talk about, games we don't want to talk about. I marked this as one I didn't want to talk about. And I know we're going to talk about every game anyway, but like it was a designator for me because I think all that matters in this game is the outcome. The Bills need to win this game.
Yes, they need to win this game to keep pace. Realistically, I remember at the beginning of the season we were talking again about how the Bills were the class of the AFC, and this was his year. This was it. You know, Josh gets the MVP last year. Still comes up short in the playoff. Like, can he do it? Can he do it? This is it. We got a great offense. We've been talking about the run game now. They got what they need there. Defense is supposed to be playing better, and what happens? They just still can't get it together. So like, it is a must-win game, 100% for the Bills, and for the Bucks, it's also a must-win game too. You got to keep pace in the NFC right now.
A game up. They're only a game up after everything.
I mean, dude, like the NFC is tight. These divisions are much tighter than we've seen before. And for the Bucks, not only just they got to keep pace in the NFC in general, like the overall picture. You know, you want to try to work on seeding. Bay May is solid. The offense can definitely score. We've seen that. The defense is still kind of mid-tier. They definitely have to show up big and make some big plays in this game. They're going to have to just spy Josh Allen. Levante David is going to be spying Josh Allen all day long. You got to keep somebody watching him.
How many games can the Bills lose this year before Haley Steinfeld starts getting absolutely awful hate mail?
I mean, it's not her fault. It's not her fault.
I'm not saying it is her fault. I'm saying how many games can the Bills lose before the fans decide it's her fault? 9 games?
I think they got one more. I think they got one more.
8 and 9.
I think they got one more.
500.
I think they got one more game.
Bengals and Steelers is a game that's being played. Pittsburgh 5.5 point favorite.
Oh yeah, it's a fun game. It'll be a fun game. It'll be a cold game. Yeah, that's really all I got to say about this. I mean, the Steelers are a team that any given week they can have a 300-yard passer, or they also have a guy who can throw 4 interceptions. Like, it doesn't matter. They're a week-to-week team, and Mike Tomlin just keeps that team floating. They don't really have their identity is meh. Like, it's rough for me because their defense can show up in games. And at the same time, they can also be terrible. And the Bengals' offense is capable of scoring a lot of points. Whether or not they do or don't is at the behest of their quarterback and their offensive line. But their receivers are phenomenal. The run game is good. And so really, like, this game could be a 35-38 game. It could also be a 17-15 game. There could be no scoring, and there could be a ton.
Wow. Lamar was hurt. Mm-hmm. They played 500 football while Lamar was out, and now you're a game up on the Ravens, and there's a 0% chance the Steelers win this division.
The Ravens had a 53% chance of winning the division with 3 wins and 5 losses because Lamar came back. It's crazy.
They just didn't do enough in my eyes, but
no, they were losing, man. You can't be a 500 team and expect to win this division. Like, I'm sorry, but the Ravens are most likely going to win most of their games closing out the season. Yeah. Like, it's just the way the schedule plays out, man.
49ers Cardinals. Hey, Call of Duty's out. I don't know why that felt relevant to say, but I got the 49ers winning this one to keep pace with first place in the NFC West.
I will say this. The system works in San Fran, and at the same time, Jacoby Brissett is not it. He's not that much
Purdy's back.
Oh, that was a waste. Why would you do that? It's too much money. It's the money. It's always the money. Because let Matt cook, bro. Like, let him do his thing. Like, what are we doing here?
A little bit of a
Especially against the Cardinals
downturn
team.
last week. He had probably his worst game last week, but yeah, I'm with you. It doesn't really matter to me. These guys are the same person.
They literally are the exact same guy. It's funny when it's so funny when Mac Jones was in New England and they had three of the same quarterback. Him, Zappy, and what's his name? Mike White. The three of the exact same quarterback. They're like, just rotate him around. And then he goes to San Fran. They're like, just rotate him around.
Chiefs and Broncos. I'm ready to call this a must-win for the Broncos. They have looked uninspired.
The Broncos still have the edge here, I think, but the Chiefs are moving in the right direction, and it's going to be scary to play them in the playoffs regardless. Like, it doesn't matter whether or not the Chiefs are the number 1 seed or the 7. It does not matter. They are a scary team to play in the playoffs, whether they're playing on the road or at home. And so if you're the Broncos, it's definitely a must-win game. It's a divisional game. You have to put a good product on the field, and you have to show that you are ready to take that mantle from the Chiefs and potentially push them out of the playoffs altogether. I mean, realistically, there's a chance the Chiefs don't make the playoffs. The AFC looks really, really stacked with some of the schedules come up late on the back half. There are some divisions right now where you're like, oh, shit. Like 2 teams are coming out of that division, and this division might not be one of them.
Ollie G with the rushing touchdown for Miami is 13-13. Ravens Browns. Baltimore is a 7.5 point favorite on the road. That's probably not enough. Give me the Ravens by double digits here.
I'm a little bit upset because Lamar is my starting quarterback, and last week we did not have the best performance. But it doesn't matter. Winning games is the name of the game, and so as long as you put points up on the board for them, it doesn't matter whether it's the running back, whether it's the wide receivers, whether it's the quarterback, or whether it's the fucking full. It doesn't matter. They're putting points on the board, and they're going to beat the Browns in this game. The Browns really need to have Myles Garrett cook. Like if he gets in that backfield and forces Lamar to kind of shuffle a little bit more, the back end, then he can kind of maybe throw him off and get him to throw some balls that might get, batted down or intercepted. So, I mean, 5 sacks and your team still loses, I would be furious. If I'm any NFL team and I have the opportunity in the offseason to make a play for Myles Garrett, I'm going to go for it. That man is still a monster on defense. And if you have him as an edge rusher on a contender of a team, look out.
Sunday Night Football, Lions, Eagles. If the Eagles defense that showed up last week shows up this week, the Bears will be in first place in the NFC North. Give me the Eagles to completely shut down this Lions offense. Something is not right with the Lions. I think the playbook's out, and the Eagles are way better on defense than pretty much anyone that they've played so far this year.
They're playing inspired football. They just picked up 3 guys who are ready to play, and you saw what Jalen Phillips did last week. Like, he is cooking. We had Jalix Hunt. Like, you have, like, random fucking dudes. They got, like, 6, 7, 8 pass rushers. Like,
Georgia Bulldogs, baby.
Dude, Alabama offense, Georgia defense. Who could have thought that maybe that might work? I mean, the one downside to the Eagles right now is their playbook is uninspired. Their play calling on offense has been god awful. You got an opportunity where you can score points and you go for it on a back shoulder fade or whatever the hell it was. Put the points on the board. Put the points on the board when you get the opportunity to do so. So, I mean, there's something happening here with their play calling, and I think that that's their biggest issue. They have all the talent on both sides of the ball to absolutely dominate every single week, and their games are tighter than they should be. The Lions, on the other hand, same situation, have the talent on both sides of the ball to be able to play really good football, and I think that they just have been playing a little bit more pedestrian than we are used to, especially back half of the season. We expected the Lions to come out and just be this dominant offensive force, and Aiden Hutchinson out here cooking. And yes, if he is, the Eagles' offensive line is not what it has been in some previous years. You got injuries, you lose a legend at center, and so you are definitely not the same team. But I think that they have the capability right now to kind of do some schemes, pull some guys, get some blocking going, and keep the Lions defense from getting to Hurts. So I think that this is definitely an Eagles game to win. It is not easy to play at the link by any means. Playing outside versus playing inside, definitely a factor there. People don't think about that sometimes, but I mean, playing at the link, playing in Philly in 30 degrees in November, is not going to be something that's going to be fun. This is going to be a game that comes down, in my opinion, to the run game. It's going to come down to how well the run game goes for both teams. The Lions are going to do some. They're going to do some scheming. They're going to throw some balls to the side. They're going to definitely do more screens than anything to try to mask that run game and get their guys in open field. But if Saquon can get downhill, if he rushes for 100 yards, the Eagles win no matter what.
Yeah, absolutely. Monday Night Football is a game. This is a draft pick position game. The Cowboys are almost as bad as your Raiders. I think if Geno can screw his head on right, there's a real chance that the Raiders can win this game because the Cowboys defense is going to give up 30.
The Geno. Look, to me, it comes down to whether or not he throws interceptions. I mean, you're absolutely correct. The Cowboys secondary will get cooked by any wide receivers, doesn't matter who it is. But the problem for me is that the Raiders secondary is literally a fishing net. Like, it is holes on holes on holes. And the Cowboys wide receivers can destroy the Raiders secondary. They absolutely can. They can. So there's a possibility that if the Raiders can score points, this could be a fucking barn burner. It could be a 30-30 game. And also, fumbles are going to be the name of the game too. And the Cowboys are really good at that. So I mean, they're going to drop passes. Their guys, honestly, this should be a game where the Cowboys win. Like, realistically, they have way more talent on offense than the Raiders do. And they are a team that actually has shown that they can score in games. The Raiders are a team who hasn't really shown that they can score when they need to. And so, I mean, for the Cowboys to score, they got to get the ball to with Aubrey, they got to get the ball to the 50-yard line to kick a field goal. They could get the ball. They could do 20 yards, 25 yards, a drive, and then kick field goals and win this game 15 to 10. It's hilarious.
This feels like a weird Mostert game. He gets 10 carries for 26 yards and 3 touchdowns kind of thing, just like a weird. Raiders move the ball really, really well, and they don't give it to Jonty inside the 5, and Mostert puts up a 3 touchdown game, and then they lose on a late field goal or something. It's swirling in my head. I'm looking at the odds move a little bit. It's this feels like a weird ass game. You look back at it and it's oh yeah, we knew the Cowboys were going to win by 3, but none of the stats make sense. It's Geno throws for 400 and no touchdowns and just weird.
Geno and Dak both throw for over 400 yards. Dak ends up with no passing touchdowns. Because Pickens fumbled at the goal line.
Oh my God! So look for that. That's what I'm looking for on Monday night. Give me a comedy of errors on Monday Night Football.
I want to see penalties too. How many pass interference penalties are going to be called by these secondaries? Realistically, if you are a quarterback, throw it deep. If you're the quarterback, just throw that bitch deep because these corners and safeties are trash. And they're just going to end up running into each other. So either you're going to have a deep ball where 2 guys defensively run into each other, or you're going to have a pass interference. And then you're going to have the ball. You're going to be a lot of pass interferences in this game.
All right. That's the Week 11 slate. Like I said, there's some fun ones in there. Get your picks in. Go on Chainlink. Pick the game of the week, Seahawks, Rams. It's a hot one. It's lit up for you all in purple. Drop your game of the week pick in the comments, and go check your lineups. Get your bets in. You got about 59 minutes till kickoff. Nothing has happened in the Spain game.
What do you got your trash bin? What do you got trash bin this week?
Trash bin for me this week. I'm gonna take Pittsburgh money line, and I am going to take Broncos plus 4.5.
Okay, I like it. Honestly, I want to take Ravens money line and probably, I don't know. Give me Vikings spread.
Just text those to me. We got to get to brunch.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
Thank you for joining us on Yelling and Screaming. Enjoy your NFL Sunday. We have a little project coming your way soon. Make sure you like, follow, subscribe the channel.
That's right.
There's
That's right.
something we're cooking up, but everything's in full swing. If you're in the Phoenix Valley area, come on out. We're at Four Peaks starting right now for brunch. It is a Vikings bar. Be careful. But no, thank you everyone for tuning in.
Skull!
Skull! I hear the feedback in my headphones what I just did to the viewers. I apologize.
Hey guys, it's been a pleasure. We love coming on here and just sharing some football with you guys. We really appreciate you coming out and coming to any 602 events and just tuning in with us each week. And let's just keep it rolling, man. Football season is a beautiful time, and right now in Arizona, it is perfect weather. Perfect weather. So get out there, get your bets in, and have fun at brunch. And we'll see you guys next week.
Hey, yelling and screaming. Peace out, y'all.
Take care.